Hey warriors, I hope you're all doing really well. This is your friend CA Rahul Agarwal and I'm very happy to come forward to discuss with all of my CA final friends who are writing your May 2026, September 2026 and Jan 2027 examinations. This video is to confirm to all of you that we are officially launching the CA final direct tax classes for these 3 attempts. This video will be discussing about a few important things on what this batch looks like, what exactly should you be expecting out of this batch, what should I be expecting out of you students before you start taking forward this batch along with me, date of commencement of these classes, and a few other things which may be important. Yes? Great. Let's talk about this batch very clearly. First, Rahul, CA Final Direct Access. What exactly is your batch looking like? There are some important things which I keep in mind when I take classes. First and the most important feature is about conceptual clarity. Now, I'm not sure if you have had a chance to visit and talk to your seniors, but May 2025 was the best example. ICI has upped their game very significantly right now, that now ICI is no more interested on those students who are covering the subject on a bookish knowledge. ICI really wants you people to have a practical understanding of every single topic so that you can approach the exams properly. A subject like direct taxes was so complex in May 2025 that they gave you the smallest of the thing for you to tingle your brains on. And for those students who had only mucked up that subject and gone, would have probably not ended up doing really well. So yes, one thing which I always feel very confident and about my classes is that we give complete conceptual clarity on every single topic because we follow a very single approach. The smallest approach which we call about is not about talking what in the topic, but to discuss about the why in the topic. The instance is that when we talk about any single provision in the class, we don't just talk about the provision and ask you to mug it up. Our intention is that when we give you a topic, we first start with the background. We give you an history on why this topic was introduced, what exactly was the legislative intent behind the topic, give you some real life examples, real life instances, or probably create some examples so that you can appreciate the topic a little better, and then deliver the response so that you can understand the topic even more importantly. My approach to the classes is very simple, that it is not about a one-way communication. Rahul is not here to discuss the topic with you. Rahul is here to engage the topic with you. So every single student who comes for the classes gets into a real-time engagement model where I pose questions to all of you. You bring up your solutions and answer to me. You step yourself into the shoes of the lawmaker and try to create a law along with me so that you now appreciate the topic even better and even more logically. That is the kind of approach which we follow in the classes. So yes, classes are very interactive and very engaging when it comes to the subject of direct taxes. This is my instance for both CA final level and CA inter level. We don't make any exceptions on those. Third, and the most important thing why my batch is always known for is that Rahul is known for complicating the most simplest of the provision. I take the smallest of the provision which you think is more easier for you to understand and I complicate it so much that you start tingling your brains. At the same time, for all those complex provisions which income tax has ended up drafting and most of the people don't appreciate it so much, I ensure that this becomes the most simplest of the topics for you to understand. So I play both the games. The reason is very simple. The more you start complicating the simplest things, the more your mind jogs. You start understanding the smallest of the things for you to plan your things better. And when you start simplifying the most complex of the things, you start thinking like what the lawmaker is. And therefore it becomes very easy for you to approach a topic in the future when you start doing self-studies. Yes, fourth and the most important thing. This is something which I feel is very critical and unfortunately most faculties don't appreciate it for their own personal reasons, is that when it comes to a subject like direct taxes, my experience in the past along with my faculties as well as North markets is that people generally end up bombarding you with too many materials. A material for the bare code reading, a material for your understanding of summary, a material for chart preparations, a separate material where you write the provisions. Too many materials given in your hand only spoils the broth. You end up confusing yourself so much the day before exams because you're just reading the same thing from 5 different materials and a human mindset does not let you skip any of those. You just have that guilt feeling that you have to complete every single material or you'll not be able to do so well for exams. Now let's be honest. On the day of exams, where you just have 1.5 days to prepare, reading 5 different materials does not solve the purpose. When you know that you're only going to rely on one provision and you just want to read that, there is no reason for me to also deliver such extraordinary materials to you. So we're going to keep it very simple and clean for the classes people. One material is designed for you and that is the one material we'll be working along with. I will not be shifting the material. I'll not be giving you multiple materials for you to refer to. One single material is what we'll be using for exams and that material is what you'll be understanding every single topic with me in my classes. That is what we're going to go forward with. What is this material you're talking about, Rahul? The materials, the very, very known materials right now in the market and so much appreciated and so much love received from so many students, the Taxation 101 Rankers Edition. At CA final level, Taxation 101 Rankers Edition comprises of two hard copy materials. One is your Taxation 101 Concept Guide and one is your Taxation 101 Solutions Guide. These two materials will be shared across with you in physical copy so that you can read it for your exam preparations. First, the Taxation 101 Concept Guide, the very famous material, people, which covers the concepts, the provisions, the analysis, the reading and everything in just a matter of 500 pages in the most beautiful fonts, beautiful colors, coding system properly done, beautiful diagrams, designs, understanding, logics, codes and whatnot. Yes, now the material of 2026 may probably not be ready yet because I'm still incorporating the changes which your finance circulars are bringing into, but I can always show you the recent material. Yes, the last 2025 material which was released, people, the concept guide covered something like this. It was a material made in 2 volumes where I had ensured that all single chapters of ICI are sequentially prepared so that you can read it in a fashion of logic. I am not here to come and give you chapters in the same format as ICI because then you could have done it yourself. This material will cover every chapter in the sequential fashion to understand what happens in a practical scenario when a person starts talking about taxes. Starts from basics, computation of total income, goes into assessment of special entities, then we end up going for payment of taxes, assessment, appeals, penalty, prosecution, other laws and so on and so forth. So a sequential arrangement has been made for all chapters, people, so that you can appreciate every single topic in the best of its entirety. All chapters have been color coded with proper color formattings, people. All important text will be given in black, all headings will be given in blues, all kind of main headings will be given in purples. You will have important case laws given in blue color, all kind of my personal notes given in green color, all your amendments for the respective attempts given in green color fonts, so that you can very clearly identify that yes, these are all the amendments which I should be focusing on for my examinations. Those things are also taken care of. As a student, if you are able to prepare your own notes, you don't need to do that. I've done those also. Cases where you will end up going wrong are being given in floater boxes. You have highlights given in yellows. If I can show it to you quickly, yes, you have highlights given in yellow, people, things where you will end up going wrong and you should be marking this as important. I have done that for you as well. Those are the kind of efforts which has gone into this material to make it that user friendly for you to prepare for. But I'm still not satisfied. This material, while it has reached its peak in the last 5 years, is still in a room for improvement, and therefore 2026 material, which is currently under discussions, I am planning to have some more enhancements made to the material. What are those enhancements, Rahul? No, this isn't secret from my side. I don't want to really reveal it right now. I'm working on it, work in progress. So therefore, yes, unless it reaches its finality, I do not want to spill the beans here. I will keep those secrets to myself, but once the material is ready, I will put out a separate video and clarify it to all of you. If you're anyway a student joining for physical classes, you will experience it firsthand, but for everyone else who wants to buy it separately, the material is really going to be a game changer in this industry for you to really appreciate what is going on. That is going to be my promise when I start completing the material off for you. Yes, so the first material, people, the concept guide, is going to carry 2 volumes, volume 1 and volume 2, both comprising of about 500 pages. The second material is about your solutions guide. Solutions guide is all about taking into consideration your practical questions so that you should be able to solve this subject very nicely. Now, this material is something which I am extremely proud about. It's not just about giving it free of cost for PDF students, but it is also about the fact that this material is my complete analysis of what the direct tax paper looks like from an ICS perspective. This material is dividing every chapter into 2 subdivisions. Chapter number 1, subdivision number 1, is called as the practice questions, where I'll be covering all your ICAI study material questions in it. But section B is what you have most important. Section B is now going to be covering something called as Blast from the Past, where I'll be capturing all your PYQ questions, RTPs, MTPs, past study materials, past practice manual questions, every single question which I felt is important for you to keep in mind, but is not part of the practice A questions. If section A does not have those questions, then I would have captured it in section B so that you can now understand the mentality of ICI and also know those adjustments which ICI is purposely not keeping in its study material. So the secrets are already out. This material will cover a one-stop solution for you to cover your entire subject of direct taxes. Now, before I proceed forward, I want to give a disclaimer to all of you. Now, as the faculty, I can always boast about and come and say that this material will cover 100% of your syllabus. But let me be honest to you all, I do not want to promise that to you. A subject like direct tax is evolving no matter how much you try on it. ICI is evolving itself as well. And therefore, in my experience, no matter how comprehensively any faculty prepares a material like this, it is always bound to have some mistakes. Mistakes in the sense that ICI normally always ends up finding a different way to approach a question, and therefore one or two adjustments are always found newly, creatively in every paper. Now, which means this material is going to cover 98 or 95% of your syllabus in your entirety. The next 5% of the syllabus is just going to be something which is out of the box, which ICA has put in from his side. But let's be honest, people, those 5% is also something which I'm anyway going to cover in the conceptual building. So therefore, you technically have a complete reading on that material as well. So 100% of the coverage of the syllabus is given to you. Just that the practice questions may not have that part of the questions, because that's something which is not predictable for any faculty for that matter. Yes, so I'm going to be very honest with you on that front as well. But other than that, yes, all past exam questions which has all critical adjustments, technical difficulties and everything which ICI has tested in the past is already captured in this material, so that you have a complete comprehensive reading for your examinations. Two materials as a physical copy. The third material, which I generally do not give it as a physical copy, but I rather give it as a PDF copy, and I'm not mentioning to you right now, is something called as an MCQ guide. This MCQ guide is something which I want to clarify to you will not be part of the batch curriculum. This would be separately given to you free of charge, whether you are my student or not my student, at a later stages. Later stages would mean somewhere in the month of 2026, June, July periods. If you are a May student, then probably in the month of Jan, Feb as well. The intention of this material is going to be to capture all ICI questions which ICI has launched either in the case scenario booklets, your online BOS portal, your past RTPs, MTPs, PYQs and everything. That is what is this MCQ guide going to be capturing, and therefore this will need a little additional time, because case scenario booklets of ICI are only released in the fag end. So ICI may probably release that somewhere in the month of Jan or Feb only. So I do not want to promise you anything on that material right now. But yes, the material will be due and will be shared with you at appropriate stages for you to refer on. That is my promise. We will take care of that. Now, you can always come and tell me, Rahul, MCQ guide, you can always prepare your own material and give it to me. No, people. Yes, I can do that. It's very easy for me to prepare a material with some 20,000, 30,000 MCQs and give it across to you, because it's just for me to compile the study material questions and give it across. But I don't want to do that. The intention with MCQs is not about coming and telling you what exactly should you be answering. It's about me clarifying to you what is the approach which ICI is following in its MCQs, what is the mentality and thought process which ICI has on this MCQs, and the level of difficulty which ICI is keeping on its MCQs. That is the intention with which MCQ guide is prepared. It's not with me giving you random MCQs so that you can just feel good that you have completed the MCQ series. No. Therefore, MCQ guide will take time and will be done at a later stage only. That is something which I'll confirm to you. Now, with this books done, people, let me ask the bigger question. The bigger question which most of the students ask, Rahul, why do I have to come to you for direct tax classes? What is so special about you? Yes, let me confirm a few things to you. For you to approach my classes, there are certain rules. Rule number one, I take classes ensuring that you get real life instances and real life examples. My intention of the class is very simple. I do not want to make a student ready for just your CA final exams. You could have done it yourself as well. My intention with every student is that you should be ready for the market as well. Any person who sees you as a qualified chartered accountant should always feel that yes, this person deserves to be a chartered accountant, and therefore a subject like taxation, which is going to be applicable to you even post your qualification, is something you need to be taking real examples with. So yes, all the classes will have real life examples, real life instances, my practical insights and my personal experience on what I have done in the last 10 years of my career is going to be shared across with all of you. That is what this classes would entail to you. So we will not just be looking at the book, we'll be looking beyond the book. That is the kind of intention which is going beyond it. Now, normally I always give this to only those students who are interested in direct taxes and want to take it up as a career. But with the current experience of May 2025 and onwards, I have realized that ICA is also thinking on the same lines. So if you're not taking classes from a person who has a practical insight, you probably are missing out on a few things. I'm not telling that this is just for you to take classes from me, but yes, any faculty for that matter, a subject like direct taxes needs you to have that practical exposure and practical insight. So a faculty like that can really give you the edge over other students in the market. Reason number two, this is about learning with fun. One thing which I learned in my practical times, people, is that when I was a student myself, it was extremely difficult for me to manage the classes because most of my faculties were very senior faculties of the age of 45, 50. Now, no doubts about it, they were really good and really knowledgeable. But a student at your level, a student who's just 20, 21, a teenager kind of a person, is not really that excited enough to see people just feeling boring of the classes, coming and telling you that the subject is difficult and therefore you should learn it as difficult as possible. No. People, coming from that background, I also know that the classes needs to be engaging with you because you need to appreciate what is happening. It is not going to be fun for you to complete this class unless you feel the enjoyment to come to a class. And therefore, one single rule of my classes is that I do not take a class if it is boring. Every single day of my class, I will ensure that there is some fun which is happening in the class, not in terms of playing games with you, but in terms of making sure that the concepts are that relatable to you. We will not just use real life examples, but we'll use funny examples. We'll use examples which may not be tax related, but are more linked to each other. And therefore, you'll be able to appreciate things far more better than what any other student will be able to do. Yes, so learning with fun is the motto which we go with, and I want to ensure that every student learns with that, because let's be very clear. CA was not something you took as an obligation. CA was something you took as an interest and a passion, and you should at any appropriate stages feel like the subject justifies that, whether it is direct taxes or any other subject for that matter. So yes, from my side, I want to ensure that direct taxes, whether you like it or not, ends up becoming a subject which you appreciate from your side. And that is why these classes are going to be extremely fun, extremely engaging, a real life interaction with both of us so that we can do a really good job. Next, the important thing is of conducting these classes with a complete amended schedule. For one reason, I'm giving this video to you right now, confirming to you that we are not starting this batch in the month of July, neither in the month of August. We are taking some time on this. The reason is very simple, that I do not want to conduct any classes for you in a hurry fashion where I end up teaching you some of the old concepts. My intention is not to come and tell you that let's learn the old concepts right now, and then later on you watch some YouTube video of mine where you can see the amendments and the revision videos. No. I want to make it very clear that if you're coming to a class, you learn everything required for your exams in that class itself. So we will ensure that the classes are covered with the complete amended topics of your syllabus, including the circulars and notification which are relevant to you. So that is something which will be taken care of from my side. Fourth, the most important thing, people, is that any student who comes to me, I ensure that we keep a very close circle along with us so that I can always be personally engaged with all of you to see how your progress is. It is not just about me making sure that your direct tax is getting through. It is about me ensuring that your CA final gets through. And therefore, a constant support and guidance will be given from my side to every single student, where I'll be managing all your progress, not just for your direct taxes, but for all your other subjects in the next course of for the next 2026 period as well. So every time you approach May 26, September 26, or Jan 27 for that matter, you'll be personally engaged with me, and I will ensure that you are you're making sure that your other subjects, your other preparations, your tests, your everything else is going on schedule. So this is about me being your live mentor. That is something which I'm going to ensure, and we are going to go and sail through this together. That is one promise from my side. Next, this is something which we are introducing only in this batch, people. We have not done it in the past, and this is something which I'm looking forward to. The one problem which we noticed with some students is that after I completed a topic, students ended up focusing more on their articleship and everything, and therefore lost touch of the topic. At a later stage, it came to a point where what happened is, once they completed their classes, self-study became extremely daunting on them because they were not able to recollect what was happening in the past. And therefore, what I've decided is, now I'm going to take baby steps with you. During the class itself, as soon as we complete the classes, I will ensure that the chapter gets over. We will do the revision of that chapter then and there itself. So which means the moment we complete PGBP, a dedicated 30 minutes will be allotted, and then 30 minutes I will discuss with you on the PGBP revision very, very quickly. This helps me with two things. One is that as soon as you have completed the chapter, if you're learning the revision with me right now, you're already linking to the topics, and therefore you already are aware how much you have understood the topic or what kind of challenges you're facing. Second, the video which I'm going to shoot for revision will now act as a marathon video for me, which I'm going to upload then and there itself on YouTube channel, so that every single time you go on the YouTube channel and you want to look at the video, you have it then and there itself. This helps me prepare for the videos well in advance, rather than shooting these videos separately at a later stage on my home where I don't have students interactions. So I'm going to ensure that this helps me do two things in a single go. And so yes, revision are going to take place after every chapter itself, so that you can complete the preparations then and there. Next, to ensure that your progress has been properly monitored, I will also be conducting tests for you for all the chapters which I feel extremely important and critical from an exam perspective. So yes, there will be regular tests happening for you, and every single student approaching me on a physical class will be monitored on this. No exceptions that I'm a CA final student and I have articleship and all going on, I cannot write tests. No, this would be a test for you, and you will be doing these tests for one simple reason, people. I want to ensure that I have real-time feedback on how my classes are going on. With your test going on, I will have a more real-time understanding on whether you have understood the topic well or not, and that would give me an opportunity to take the topic once again, or to enhance or clarify your dots even better, so that you can approach the classes even more interestingly. Yes, great. The last three things is something which I personally think you should be very, very, very interested about. The first thing is about its flexibility. To ensure that the classes are more interactive and every student works along the way, it is not about me ensuring that just some important students who are really ensuring, who come with an intention to pass are there. My intention is, if one student joins the class, he is important for me no matter what. And therefore, we will ensure that these classes are completely flexible to every single person's interest. We will ensure that if at any point of time a certain student has to go forward to a outstation audit, we will enable online live classes for you so that you can watch it then and there itself. For all those students who are facing difficulties because your articleship is a little distant, we will try to complete the classes a little bit ahead so that you can leave early. For all those people who think that, who probably end up in a maybe, in a difficult audit on weekends and therefore could not attend weekend classes, we will ensure we cancel weekend classes as well. At any appropriate stages, if a personal student needs personal attention on things, I will be there to help you on all those things. Any appropriate stages, if you come and feel like, no, Rahul, I think there is an, heavy audit going on, there is some deadlines coming up and therefore all of us need a break, we will drop in for those period of time as well. All those kind of flexibility will be given to all of you to ensure that every single student sails along with me during the classes. No exceptions whatsoever. That is one promise from my side. But let me be careful on this also. While I talk about flexibility, I also ensure discipline. Discipline is important in my classes. It is not about coming and giving flexibility in the sense that you tell me, Rahul, I am very lazy to come and get up in the morning, so I will come only at 8:30 in the class and leave at 9. No. Discipline is also critical. While I will be supportive to you to the extent possible from my side, I will also be candid on the fact that if you're going to be a hampering fact for all other students to attempt their exams properly, then yes, appropriate actions would be required at that stages as well. So we will give you all flexibility that you require, but as long as there is a discipline attached to it. Yes, that is something which I will ensure in my classes. Personal problem, nothing else. You have to not worry about it. This is something we will take care of it together. Yes, but please be completely confident on the fact that you will be given all the kind of flexibility to discuss with me any challenges you have before you take these classes forward, so that you can have all kind of liberty to yourself. Two things. First is on the backup of the classes. Now, I understand there are certain students writing September 26 and Jan 27 and therefore may feel that, Rahul, this may be a little too early for me because I may probably not understand or remember the topics at a later stage. Please don't worry about it. While we'll be giving all examples for you in the classes and you'll be noting down all the examples for you to relate to it better, at any appropriate stages, if you feel like you have been missing out on a few classes because of personal reasons, health issues and anything, a complete backup of all the classes will be shared across with every single student. If you are a physical student, every class will be given for unlimited view access. No restrictions whatsoever. A physical student will get complete unlimited backup view of all the classes. I do not want to hamper on 1.2 views, 1.4 views, because I know this was important to you. So yes, a physical student attending classes offline will get 100% backup with unlimited view access on all classes. No challenges I know. The last thing, like I said, people, to ensure that flexibility is there, and if you are ending up in a position where you have to leave Chennai because of reasons, I will enable online live classes and I will ensure that you are engaged with me then and there itself, rather than me spending time and giving you recordings at a later stage for you to impact on it. Live classes will be enabled on special request, but only on special request, not as a general practice. Yes, great. This brings me to the important question. Rahul, we are all looking very excited. When do you think you can start the batches? People, at this stage, my plan of action is that I want to start the batch somewhere in the month of September. Now, this is coming up with certain reasons, people. Reason number one is that I want to ensure physical students get the opportunity to attend this class physically no matter what. And so I want that respective months where you have the peace of mind. September and forward are those months where technically your tax audit season and everything has just come to a halt. People are now going to be more busy with return filing season or just some random things going on, and therefore your presence in office would be more required than going to client places. At that point of time, ensuring that you coming to classes would be a lot easier for me than anything else. And therefore, we are planning target action that September, October, November, December is what we will have our class journey for. But yes, if at any stages it's so found out that a lot of students are coming from September season and unfortunately not being able to attend classes, those appropriate season times, there will be a break off. Yes, so we'll start the classes in September, then give a break off, and then we'll continue back in October, depending on how the flexibility looks like. That is the plan of action. No doubts about it. The reason why I'm also starting in September is that, like I said, most of the students are going to have May 2026 examinations in their forte. And therefore, for May 2026, the last cutoff for you to complete all your amendments would be October. So if I start a class in September, when we carry forward it to October, I'll be able to confidently tell you during the classes itself as to what are the amendments which are applicable for your May 2026 examinations for you to take care of. Third and the most important thing, the reason why we're keeping the classes in September is because I want to ensure that you have completed all your prior commitments. I am giving you this flexibility of the next 2 months for you to plan for your other classes if you're already work in progress. There may be some students who are already reading some other classes and are going through some classes and may therefore have some difficulties in completing their classes before that batch starts. And therefore, I wanted to give you this next 2 months for you to prepare, complete those classes and come with a fresh mind, because let's be clear. When you're starting the subject of direct taxes, I will need a good amount of time out of you. A sole dedication would be required, because if we start a batch in the month of September or October, no matter what it is, I want to complete the classes in the month of December. December mid is my cutoff on it. Mandatory cutoff on it, people, because if there is any student who's writing May 2026 examinations, he needs to ensure that he starts his preparations of the next subjects in the month of January and is ready for your exam preparations. So December mid is going to be my cutoff no matter what. I cannot make any excuses on that. So yes, if you're going to start a class with me in September and October, the classes would be fairly on a daily basis. Maybe probably 6:30 to 8:50, 6:30 to 9 o'clock, depending on what the flexibility you students have. So 6:30 to 9 o'clock daily basis. Weekends may probably have extended classes. I will need solid 160 to 170 hours plus a bit of 20-30 hours extra in order to complete the revision series as well. So this much time is required for me, and therefore, when you start the classes with me, until the class gets over, you will unfortunately not have the space to see any other classes. You will have to dedicatedly pay attention to only the subject of direct taxes with me without any exceptions. Yes, and therefore I want to start this classes in the month of September, because I have expectations out of you. Expectation number one. A student who's joining May 2026 examinations will ensure that they, before coming to the classes, have completed all your FR and AFM classes. If your articleship leave is only for 3 months, then you will have a buffer time in the month of January to complete your IDT and audit. So there is no problem there. But if you're not having that buffer time and January is the cutoff for you to start your exam preparation leave, in that case, you will also complete one other subject and come before the classes. So which means FR, AFM, IDT audit, depending on your choice, your convenience. You will complete 3 subjects and come appear for direct taxes along with me, and then after December mid we'll take the balance 1 subject so that you can have proper 4 months for your exam preparations. Students who are joining September 26 and Jan 2027, let me clarify this to you, that you are also eligible to this class and you should be there in this class. Taking this class right now would give you an edge for 2 reasons. One, if you're anyway planning Jan 27, there is one more season coming up for you. Classes completion at this stage would help you prepare for that season very, very beautifully. Point number 1. There is not going to be any change in your syllabus up to Jan 2027, no matter what. May 2027 students will have a different Finance Act, and therefore those students are not permitted in this batch. But anyone writing up to Jan 2027, the syllabus is not going to change. So if you can complete a subject like direct taxes 1 year in advance, it gives you that amount of edge to do things better. For those students who are writing September 26 and Jan 27, please complete at least 1 subject and come for your preparation of classes. Once you're done with DT, you will always have time to complete your balance subjects as well. So you will have sufficient time for you to cover things. But at least 1 subject. My personal preference would be FR, because FR is more connected to direct tax, so you'll be able to relate it better. But if you've taken AFM also, that's not a problem. Request is very simple, that when you enter September and October, when we start the batch, no one comes and tells me that Rahul, I have a pending chapter, I have a pending topic, I have a pending subject, so I cannot join your classes. No. I'm giving you next 2 months for you to prepare properly and come for the classes strong without any kind of exceptions. That is the one intention why we are starting the class only in the month of September and not before that. Request number 2. All students who are in Chennai and are interested for this batch will only attend this batch physically. No exceptions whatsoever. People, the reason why we keep physical classes is because we want to create a community. You can do the classes online, there is no doubts about it. But the kind of community which you create with like-minded people sitting next to you, the kind of real-life engagement which we have with each other, when I ask you a question, when you deliver an answer to me, when I give you the background behind it, when we all spend some additional time going outside for lunch, dinners and everything just because we want to feel connected to each other. That is the kind of experience a chartered accountant should have in life. After you qualify, nothing is going to happen on videos. You're going to be talking to real-life people, and therefore you should have the physical presence no matter what. So yes, any student who is in Chennai will attend these classes only physically. There will be no exceptions to this rule unless and until you come and tell me during the middle of the batch that you have been given some long station audits and therefore you need to go somewhere else. For a limited amount of 5 to 10 days, I will permit you to join me online live as well, or for any medical reasons, I will permit you to join online live. But for no other reasons, a Chennai student can attend these classes online. You will be attending these classes physically. Trust me. Come to the class, sit along with other students and see the difference which is going to make. The kind of interactions which you're going to make, the kind of friends you're going to make in this batch is going to be immense and very beautiful. So I want you all to come for physical classes. Please join me. Attend for a few days and you will see the impact which is going to be created. That is request number 2. Leaves me with request number 3. For all my May 2026 students, I want to make this extremely clear to all of you. At this stage, when you're already close to your exams, there is nothing more important for you than your classes. So today, inform your article principal that, sir, if I am going to start the classes of direct taxes in the month of September, I want to attend these classes physically. No exceptions. I will not be taking up any further outstation audits, any further long travels and everything. I want to focus on my career. I want to focus on my CA final exams, and therefore no such things will be taken off from you. This is one small commitment which I want from all of you. For all my September and Jan 27, I understand you will be taking up these opportunities. So there is no doubts about it. But the intention by which we have kept the classes in September is that I feel you may not have these opportunities in these 3 months. These 3 months are considered to be the lean season, so I don't envisage you all to have these things. If you do end up having these scenarios, like I said, for a couple of weeks, I am completely fine giving you an online setup as well. But if you also can go back to your principals and come and tell them that for the 3 months when you're attending this physical classes, you want to avoid it as much as possible, it just helps. It helps me see you appropriately and see how your response time is. It also helps you attend these classes physically along with your friends. At the same time, we are able to create this atmosphere where we are able to grow together. So please inform your principals that you would like to attend these classes physically, no matter what. Get that commitment from them. If your principals are not those kind of people who are being encouraging about it, let's be clear. There is a red flag here. There is a red flag here. You need to be asking them the right questions and you need to be taking appropriate actions, because let's be honest, at the end of the day, while no matter how good your principal is, he is more dedicated to his work and you are more dedicated to your classes. If you are going to be compromising on your future careers because of him, there is something wrong, horribly wrong here. You should be taking your priorities importantly. I do understand you want to learn, there is no doubts about it, but at appropriate stages when your classes are due, they are important. Your priorities should be set right, because let's be clear, any student joining this batch, whether you are interested about it or not is a different conversation, but it's very important that if a student takes up a subject and he goes for an attempt, he treats it as his final attempt. The first attempt really makes a difference, people. That one first attempt which you write, the excitement which you have to write and the excitement which you have to pass is not something you can ever get back again. So in the first attempt, if you can really put in that efforts and clear it in the first go, trust me, no one else is going to be happier than you, right? So do not compromise on your classes just because of your office work. That is not going to help you in any ways. After the first attempt, trust me, it becomes very difficult. I've seen so many students struggling with their career just because they did not pay attention to the first attempt, and now it's just a backlog going on. Neither does the principal look into it right now, nor does the articleship firm does any good for them right now. It's just their career on the line, and they are now trying to struggle with this. I do not want it from any student in this batch. So every student is going to try their level best and commit to themselves that during this month of September to December, they will not take up any audits which will going to impact their morning classes. Let's make it very clear. Yes. Now, to ensure that it is not getting serious, people, let me clarify this to you. This is going to be a fun batch, no doubts about it. I am looking forward to seeing all of you and seeing your personal comments and feedbacks on how we can start this batch with the more interesting songs. And therefore, I am clarifying this to you right now, that for the physical model, I am only looking forward to 20 students. I'm not looking forward to more than 20 students in a physical setup, because I want to give a personal attention to all of you. Any students who are not maybe in that mindset that they probably want to attend this physically, probably want to push their attempt probably want to look at this classes the next year and all, you will be free to access the recording classes. The recordings will be given to you for a purchase price, so there is no challenges there. Once the recordings are ready, I will have a separate video discussed with all of you. But for those students who can attend this physically, I want only 20 students and not more than that to discuss the classes. 20 students, proper attention from my side will be given to all of you. So if you are planning and interested to be in the top 20 students, my number is given here. My number is 7338923295. Please drop me a WhatsApp message on this number and let me know your interest about this. I will have some follow-up questions for all of you to understand what exactly are your articleship firm looking like, what is your commitments, what is your timings, where are you situated right now, how do you deploy yourself for articleship for your travels and everything, so that we can start the classes at the appropriate stages where all 20 of you are in the same sync. Yes, that is what we're going to do. So yes, as soon as this video gets launched, I have a very small request. If you're interested, if your friends are interested, if you have any nearby people who are looking forward to CA Final Direct Tax classes in Chennai or in an online setup, please ask them to reach out to me on this number and we can discuss along with all of them on what exactly is the request and we can take it from there. I want to ensure that the 20 students we have in the classes work together, sync together and run together, and we take this forward very, very beautifully well, because in my eyes, every student who writes the first attempt should be clearing it in the first attempt. You are a deserving CA to that extent. You have spent your career right now dreaming about this as a journey, and I want to ensure that I play a very important role in that part. So yes, you are going to play that commitment along with me. I'm going to play this commitment along with you. We're going to work together and we're going to ensure that you clear this CA final exams in the first attempt, no matter what. Yes, so give me a some amount of commitment. I will give you some amount of commitment. We work on the disciplined setup and we will get through. Yes, if I could have got through in my past, I am ensuring that I can assure you that you can also do it. I was no exception. You should not be one of them either. Yes, so you should be coming forward and coming and telling me, I am interested for direct taxes. Let's see how we can take this up. We will do this together and we'll get through it. And that's the kind of promise I want from every student in this batch. Are we clear? Perfect. Great. I look forward to all of your messages, people. The number is already here. I will also drop it in the description box. So please drop me a message on this number and I will discuss with all of you on how we can take it forward. The further finalized dates of classes commencement and other details of this batch will be announced to you in the upcoming days once we have a confidence from all 20 students on how we can take it forward. Until such time, happy articleship learning for all of you. Complete all your previous classes and come back stronger to me. I will see you all in the next upcoming videos. Until then, take care. Bye bye.